Rogue? Dead guy? Whiskey? Wait, I didn't say beer or ale, did I? No, it's the whiskey from the Rogue guys. Is it good? Whiskey Jason, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. Today I have Rogue Dead Guy whiskey, ocean aged from Oregon, aged at least a year. 1988, a couple guys had the dream to start up a brewery. That was almost before the craft beer brewery boom started. And so they found a spot in Newport, Oregon. There was like a snowstorm, and this lady named Mo let this guy stay overnight. And she said, yeah, I have this building you could use. And so the dream became a reality, and they started brewing beer basically in the backyard. There was some type of building for that. In the front, they had a bar with a tavern, and they sold the beer, and upstairs they lived in the apartment. The perfect condition. And this Dead Guy ale, they make some great beer at the Rogue Brewery. Now, this is not a beer, this is a whiskey. Rogue Dead Guy whiskey. Now, the Rogue Dead Guy beer uses the cask from the Rogue Dead Guy whiskey. They use exactly the same three malts here, also used in the ale for the whiskey. That is the Meyer Munich, that is the C15, and that is the Rogue Farms Risk Barley Malt. The distiller, a little bit of a difficulty sometimes. I think they went through like 3 different distillers in 5 years. If my information is correct, John Couchot is presently the distiller. Fall now of 2017. And they have 2 distilling possibilities. One is Tracy, which has a capacity of 150 gallons, and Tory, which has a capacity of 500 gallons. So they name their 2 pot stills Tracy and Tory. These guys are really having fun at work. And they even started up their own cooperage. Rolling Thunder is the name of the cooperage. They only use Oregon oak. And so handmade barrels from Nate Linguist. And they use grain from Oregon. They use water from Oregon. They have their own proprietary yeast, which is called Pac-Man. And even the water they get here from the area. So, now, I have a little bit of a problem with the Dead Guy whiskey. I have the feeling, and this is what we do in Scotland, is Scotland, for example, Glenfarclas uses basically only sherry casks. A few exceptions are there. And in order to get enough sherry casks, they actually have their own casks being prepared for sherry. They put the sherry in there, they take the sherry out, but they don't need the sherry. No one's drinking enough sherry anymore, so they basically reprocess this or throw it out in order to get those casks. Now, Dead Man ale is actually aged for about a year in old whiskey casks. So I kind of have the feeling, I'm probably wrong, but I kind of have the feeling that they're making this whiskey just to get the cask they need for their beer. By the way, it's Rogue Ale. That's the name of the parent company, not Rogue Whiskey. What did they do first? Ale and beer. So they're primarily here a brewery and not a distillery. And a little bit of the feeling I have also when I take a look at their home, the website, and so on, that that's the main thing they're doing. So my nose, there's a lot going on in there. A lot of barley, a little bit of wood, some even yeast, a little bit of the alcohol is in there. They're kind of fighting each other, but there's something else as well. I get a type of dark chocolate mixed with a lemon meringue. That's a weird one. So let's taste it. Wow, I get some beer at the end. I don't like beer. Oh. Wow, I've never had that really that strong before. From Corsair, I had something called what was it? Putskin. I think it was a word play for Putin, or Putin, as they say in the States. And it was Imperial Stout Russian beer with hops added to it. It was like drinking beer and whiskey combined. Not my world. I don't like whiskey. I don't like coffee. Wow. It's just like non-eventful, and then you swallow and it turns to beer. Not really my thing. I'm going to give it a, wait a second. It's actually not that bad for 1 year old. But that aftertaste really just hits me, ugh. Even afterwards, it's like I have beer in my mouth. Ugh. Now, some of you love beer, and so for you it'd be like drinking a whiskey and then whee, going up. Even my friends and I, when we have a whiskey tasting, maybe 5 or 6 or 8 whiskeys in an evening, they'll be just sipping on the beers in between. It's like, guys, doesn't that ruin your taste? Buds, isn't your palate just kind of totally beer infused? And they go, nah, I'll take a sip of whiskey in between, a sip of water in between. I go, it's not enough. All right, so I'm going to give it a C. It's a C plus until the aftertaste kicks in, and then it's a C minus. And then the C just kind of evens it out. So it's really not my thing. If you like beer, if you like the Rogue Dead Guy beer, buy it. It's like $40, I think, in the States. It's not that expensive. It's 1 year old. It's pretty good. But as I said, that aftertaste really, really, really doesn't do it for me. So my question of the day is, what whiskey have you ever had that tasted the most like beer? So, as I said, this is not the one, but rather the Putskin from Corsair, which was even worse. This is up there. This is number 2, I must admit, the Rogue Dead Guy whiskey, ocean aged. Oh, and by the way, the ocean aged part, it's not on the ocean. It's not Jefferson. They didn't put it on the boat. They have a shipyard where they have this old ship maintenance building with a lot of windows in there, so they get the fresh breeze right off then the Pacific Ocean in the Bay of Yaquina Bay. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. All right, so that was the last part there. Please like my videos. Please subscribe to my videos. Please tell other people about this crazy guy in America tasting rare and exotic whiskeys that no one else can get. And thank you very much for liking. I post Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. See you then. Bye-bye.